Okay, let's talk about something as much a part of Christmas as wrapping paper and festive tunes, the classic holiday family argument. We're going to dive into why this happens and, more importantly, how a little bit of science can help you have a much more peaceful Christmas this year.
So, does this question maybe hit a little too close to home? Yeah. If you're already mentally preparing for that same old argument with that one specific family member, trust me, you are in very good company. It's an incredibly common thing.
How common?
Well, it's so common that the British Association of Anger Management, or BAAM for short, actually did a survey and figured out the exact average time the first big argument kicks off on Christmas Day. And there it is, 9:58 a.m. I mean, that's before all the presents are even unwrapped.
Look, the most important thing to know is that this isn't about blaming anyone. It's really just about understanding what's going on in our own heads. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to break down the science behind why we get so wound up and give you some real practical tools to get through the day. So, where do we start? Well, first things first, we've got to figure out how we personally tend to show our anger. Because, not all anger looks the same, and just recognizing your own go-to pattern is a huge first step to changing it. So most of us tend to fall into one of two pretty unhelpful categories. On one side, you have passive aggression. This is the silent treatment, the sulking, maybe forgetting to do something you were asked to do. On the other side, you've got open aggression, which is exactly what it sounds like, shouting, arguing, or maybe that super sharp sarcasm that really stings. One bottles it up, the other lets it all explode. But there is a third way, and this is what we're aiming for: assertive anger. Now, this is not about pretending you're not angry. It's about expressing that anger in a way that actually fixes the problem instead of making it worse. It's about being in control, being confident, and using your words to work things out. So what really pushes our buttons? Well, here's the thing about anger. It's usually a cover for something else. Underneath all that heat, we're often feeling one of these things: attacked, powerless, or treated unfairly. So it's not the event itself, like a criticism about the cooking. It's how we interpret that comment that fires up the angry response. All right, let's move on because we are about to bust a massive, super popular myth about how you're supposed to deal with anger. We've all heard this 1,000 times, right? Don't bottle it up. You've got to let it all out. This idea that venting your anger is this healthy, cleansing release is it's everywhere in our culture. I mean, seriously, this idea got so big that people would literally pay therapists for the chance to just scream and punch pillows. They thought they were healing themselves. And it kind of makes sense, right? It feels like you're releasing pressure from a valve. But here is the big twist. The science tells us the exact opposite is true. Acting out your anger, yelling, slamming doors, it doesn't get rid of the anger at all. What it actually does is reinforce the anger pathways in your brain. You're basically practicing being angry, which makes it way easier to get angry next time. And we've got the proof. There is this study with laid-off aerospace workers. The ones who were angry, and for good reason, were encouraged to just vent and let the company have it. And the result? They actually felt more angry and aggressive afterward, not less. The takeaway is crystal clear. Venting just fuels the fire, it doesn't put it out. Okay, so if punching a pillow is off the table, what are we supposed to do? Well, that brings us to the really useful part, your official holiday survival guide. You know what? The best defense is a good offense. So before the big day even arrives, manage your expectations. Let go of this idea of a perfect Christmas. It's not going to happen. Know who or what is likely to set you off and have a little game plan. And maybe most important of all, share the work. Deciding who's doing what beforehand might feel a little formal, but it's way better than a fight at 10 a.m. Okay, now for the day itself. When a conversation gets tense, try to actually listen to what the other person is saying, not just wait for your turn to talk. Keep an eye on the alcohol, since that just lowers everyone's filter. And if you feel yourself getting worked up, the simplest advice is usually the best. Take 10 deep breaths. Or even better, just physically walk away. Go for a walk. It works. So why does something simple like taking a walk or breathing deeply actually work? Well, it's not just about getting away from the argument. It's all about your biology. Let's actually look at the science of what's happening inside your body. Okay, it all starts in a tiny, ancient part of your brain called the amygdala. Think of it like your body's smoke detector. It's always scanning for danger. But here's the thing.
At Christmas dinner, it's not looking for a lion, it's looking for social threats, a sarcastic comment, a dismissive look. And your ancient brain, that can feel just as dangerous.
So when that amygdala alarm goes off, it sends a panic signal straight to your hypothalamus, which is like the command center of your brain. And the hypothalamus doesn't stop to ask questions, it just reacts, kicking off this powerful automatic survival response. It honestly can't tell the difference between a saber-toothed tiger and a snarky comment about your taste in music. And here's what happens next. Your adrenal glands just dump cortisol and adrenaline into your bloodstream. This is pure biological rocket fuel. It's what makes your heart pound, your face get hot, and your muscles tense up. Your body is now physically prepped for a fight or flight situation, even though the threat is just sitting across the table. And this is exactly why going for a walk is such brilliant advice. That surge of energy, that adrenaline, it has to go somewhere. Physically moving your body helps you burn off those stress hormones. So you're not just escaping the drama, you're actually helping your body reset so your logical brain can come back online. So let's end on this thought. Anger isn't a command that you have to follow. It's just a biological alarm bell. And once you realize that, you have the power to choose how you respond. So think about it. What's the one trigger you know is coming that you can plan for this year to make your holiday just a little more peaceful?